All right, so we got 53 orders going out, totaling a little over $1,100 in sales. Stick around to the end of the video to find out what sold. This Art of Shaving brush that is made out of badger hair sold for $25 plus shipping. And these women's J. Crew pants that I just listed the other week sold for $13 plus shipping. And these habitual women's jeans sold for $7 plus shipping. And another pair of habitual jeans sold for $5 plus shipping. A lot of those jeans came from a buyout from a long time ago, about a year plus, and really just had to mark down and get those items out of my store. So I really want to bring up today's topic as there is a big shift happening in my resale business for the better. I want to talk about the principle of how you can obtain anything you've ever wanted by doing this one thing. And we'll touch on that later, but I just want to talk about the changes that are happening. So in my business, I've always been on the search for having product come to me. And this is something I've been praying about and just really wanting to have the product come to me, come delivered, and at the expense of maybe paying a little bit more for my cost of goods, which is fine. So I'm just going to say that things are shifting in the right direction, and praise the Lord, right? And my prayer was to not have so many items come into my store that have defects, like stains and holes. I want to be listing items that are a little bit a notch above that, right? In my area, I live in a rural area, so it's hard for me to obtain those 1,600 items every month that are all 100% clean with no stains and no defects. So now that that shift has happened, I'm now able to get those items coming to me. So what is going to happen now, and I want to show you guys all of the breakdown, is that I'm going to have about 1,600 items delivered to my door with just a little bit of a higher cost of goods. The items are going to come prepped and ready to go, ready for me to photograph and list. Praise the Lord. And the extra items that I'm going to be getting, I'm going to be offering them to you guys for a wholesale deal. So I'm expected to get a couple thousand items be delivered, and the rest of the items are going to be sold as wholesale boxes. So you can find that linked down below if you guys want to sign up for a wholesale box. It's going to be around 75 pieces per box, which is going to be about average without, having to break the bank on shipping for you guys. So if you're interested, you could find it down below, a sign-up sheet, and hold your place into getting a wholesale box. Essentially, it's going to be $3 per item, and those items are generally going to range between $15 to $30 average sale price. So that's up to you. I'm doing that and thinking of the people that also live rurally and going like, hey, my bins is 3 hours away, or I have no thrift stores around me. Well, then I'm going to try and provide the best service that I can, wholesaling out the rest of those items. So that's the big shift that's happened, completely transformational in my business. So instead of spending 10 hours a week going out sourcing, I can now get all of that time back and get it delivered to my door, and now I can focus on other things. So that is the biggest blessing. Let's get back into what's sold. Shout out Ann Taylor. Ann Taylor women's blouse sold for $8 plus shipping. This men's Lucky Brand Pearl Snap, new with tags, sold for $16 plus shipping. Chico's in the house. This is a women's Chico's sweater with a floral all over print, sold for $10 plus shipping. This Gap women's cardigan sold for $5 plus shipping. All right, so we got some more underwear going out. These 2 pairs of Calvin Klein underwear, men's medium, sold for $12.56 plus shipping. All right, and this amazing vintage Champion women's sports bra sold for $7 plus shipping. So wanting to go into how you can obtain anything you've ever wanted goes back to the foundational principle found in Matthew chapter 7, verse 7, Jesus saying, "Ask and it shall be given. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will open." So basically saying that if you ask your source, how many of y'all ask what you truly want out of life? Just the basic thing of ask and you shall receive. You've heard it time and time again. But it goes much deeper than that, because I believe that living in the kingdom, you cannot gain without effort. You know, we want all these things in life without trying, without working, right? Oh, I want $1 million. I want a new car. I want this. I want luxury. I want health. I want wealth. I want all these things, but yet I believe it is this principle here. When you ask and you shall receive, meaning that God never gives you things, He gives you ideas. And it's up to you to capitalize on those ideas and put them into action. We're going from the unseen to the seen. What are you pulling from the unseen, from the spiritual realm, and making it seen in the physical? That is the key. God gives you ideas. So when I prayed just last week of God, please, I'm kind of getting a little tired of listing things with stains and holes and kind of settling on the items that I'm putting in my business. A week later, the idea came about to just start networking and talking to local people and figuring out how I could get wholesale delivered. And a week later, that prayer was answered. And what a beautiful thing. Sometimes prayers take years, generations to be answered. So I just say to you guys that if you have an idea, never let it go. Never die with your idea. Never die and take that idea with you. You want to die empty. You want to really take action on all the ideas that you have. And if it wasn't for me losing the pride and being humble and going, okay, God, I do need to ask, because if I don't ask, I'll never receive, right? So ask your source on what are the things that you're working on in your personal life or in your business that you want refined. It doesn't hurt to ask, right? So Matthew 7, verse 7, look it up. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you will find. And if you just knock, the door will open. It's literally that simple, but don't expect things. Expect ideas. And it takes a great leap of faith to put those ideas into action. I encourage you guys, never die with that great idea you have in your heart. Because I know you got an idea. Take action. All right, so it's been about a year since I bought those storage units, and there are a few things now that are getting over a year old in my inventory system. For example, this shirt. It's nice, it's vintage, made in Canada by the brand Tricolor, but that item sold for $5 plus shipping. So a lot of those items are now marked down 50, 60, 70%, now just looking to make minimal profits to clear the space out to be able to invest in more items. This Amanda Smith women's button-up shirt, it is made out of 100% silk. It sold for $12 plus shipping. There's a lot of materials that I do not pass up regardless of the brand, and that is silk, cashmere, wool, and linen. So those are the four that I really just don't care about the brand, and I would rather just pick them up because of the material type. So do you guys do the same? Do you pick up linen, cashmere, wool, even the blends? I think it can be really helpful for you to be able to kind of widen your approach when you're going out sourcing for clothing, because maybe the brand sucks, but the material holds value. Here's just some basic Wrangler men's cargo shorts. They are the outdoor series, as you can see by that little logo there on the belt loop. These didn't sell for much, but they did sell fast. They sold for $10 plus shipping, 16673. So these probably were listed about a month ago, and they sold pretty quick. So Ralph Lauren plain button-ups don't sell for much, right? But when they have a certain like model to them, like Camdage, Yarmouth, Blake, Vintage Camp, Camp Series, those are the ones that you probably want to keep more of an eye on, because this sold for $18 plus shipping. And, you know, plain polos, plain anything usually doesn't really have a lot of factors that add up that make that item more desirable. Like if it was plaid and had pearl snaps and made out of linen, there's some different factors there that are going to really add to the price. So if you can find a plain Ralph Lauren button-up shirt, but it does have a model associated with it, I can think of one that's really one to look out for is the Vintage Camp series. A lot of those button-up shirts by Ralph Lauren can go for $50, $60, sometimes upwards of $100. So just be aware of when you are at the bins or at the thrift store to double check below the tag if there's any model associated with that. This men's 3rd and Army, kind of like an Army style t-shirt, sold for $8 plus shipping. Oh boy, I'm so happy to be selling jackets in the middle of summer. This was a Dickies hoodie, kind of Sherpa lined. Let's see, I think it sold for, let me double check. So it sold for $15 plus shipping. It actually had a hole in the hood, but hey, you know, just listed this about a month ago, and nice to see these still be selling. I don't know if you guys are selling a lot of jackets still in the summer. I really do believe that, you know, if you look up on Google Trends and you type in men's jackets, men's jeans, women's jeans, you start to see that the bottom of the search traffic for those types of items is June, July. And towards the end of July, it starts going on back on its uptrend. So really be looking to start getting those things listed now, even though it might be 100 degrees where you live. So this women's dress by Natural Reflections sold for $14.36 plus shipping. Definitely listing more and more dresses. I don't mind listing the dresses. They're not too much of a pain for me as they were kind of this time last year. But you know, there is a lot of money to be made in dresses, especially more plus size dresses. There's nothing special about this one, but are you listing dresses? Are you wanting to list dresses? And if you're thinking about listing dresses, you might want to check this out. I think this is going to be really helpful for you guys if you're wanting to look into selling different items in your store. I created a guide for Ultimate Guide to eBay Item Specifics on eBay. So if you're looking to kind of get into new items that are selling different styles, different types of items, maybe you only sell jeans, maybe you only sell tops, maybe you only sell shorts. I don't know what you're selling. So it's good to level up your game to be able to start capitalizing on some of the items you might be missing out while you're sourcing. So you can find this hard copy linked down below. I think the hard copy is a little bit better because you can have a physical copy by your side, and while you're doing your listings, you can refer back to it. So one thing when it comes to dresses is there's so much variety, right? There's fit and flare, there's midi, there's maxi dresses, there's sweater dresses, there's high-low dresses. You know, there's so many types, right? And it can be overwhelming. So I just think that having some type of like reference guide is really going to help you guys understand more of the terminology. Because I know when I first started, I didn't know what the heck any of that stuff meant. But hey, you know, while I'm outsourcing, I knew that, hey, well, there's some dresses there that I can make some money on. If I'm only spending $1, then why not take a chance, right? So really helps support the channel as well. We also do have an ebook for a little bit cheaper that you could just download on your phone or on your computer and refer back to that. It really is a blessing to see a lot of these Kenneth Cole button-ups sell. They did take a long time. They took a year to sell. This Kenneth Cole button-up sold for $16 plus shipping. These women's Eddie Bauer capris sold for $10 plus shipping. This is a pretty cool Lucky Brand kind of diamond pearl snap corduroy shirt, sold for $30 plus shipping. This Wi-Fi adapter by Alpha sold for $22 plus shipping. I usually do not list these types of items, but this came from a storage unit buyout I did about a month ago, and it's used, and you know, I'll list it and see what happens. Sold pretty quickly. These Lucky Brand women's jeans sold for $20.21 plus shipping. A brand that I've started to pick up more and more and adding it to my BOLO list is the Billionaire Boys Club. This is just a regular men's t-shirt, sold for $38 plus shipping. So if you want to add some brands to your brand list, Billionaire Boys Club. Don't really know the reference to it or anything, but I do know the tag now, and I will be picking this up. Also came from the storage unit buyout I did about a month ago, where there was a couple Ed Hardy jeans that was in there. a couple pairs of Nikes. So really happy. Already made my money back as I only spent $40 on the entire unit. All right, another one of those t-shirts by the brand Tricolor, something like that. This sold for $6.78 plus shipping. So getting into some of the comments that came on YouTube over the weekend, a great one is by Retrohead2408. He says, "Hey Bo, do you have a video or any reference available as to what a We Buy Clothing ad would look like? For example, a Facebook ad or a flyer template? Thank you." So yeah, I actually have been using this type of strategy in my business for about a year now. I'm going to be using it less and less with the change in my business that recently happened. And but I do suggest you guys give it a shot because it has been life-changing for me. So what I would suggest is going on Canva and doing some type of ad where it shows you buy clothes, we buy clothes. It could be for anything. We buy electronics, we buy video games, whatever you're looking for. And then also include a brand list of the types of items that you're looking for. And set a price and then a minimum amount that you would be willing to pick up. So you can check out this video right here. I'll link it. It's one of my first videos, so it's not going to be the best, but the principles still apply. So I would suggest going into all of your local buy and sell groups and posting that. Not every ad is going to be allowed in all of those buy and sell groups, but I would suggest at least giving it a try. I recently created a page about a week ago, not even that long ago, of a upcycle business. It's called Green Threads Recycling Business or Green Threads Recycling Company. I don't know. I had ChatGPT make it, and it's gotten great results. We've picked up 6 bags so far, and we've found some nice little treasures in there. So I would suggest doing it, at least giving it a try. It's not going to work in every area. You know, if you live in the middle of nowhere, you might not get as good of items if you lived like in the middle of a nicer, densely populated area. So it just depends, but I do suggest at least giving it a try because you never know what's out there, and it may be one of your better ways to source, especially if the inventory is free. This Croft & Barrow women's 2X plus blouse sold for $7 plus shipping. And don't be bashing on good old Croft & Barrow, because if you look up the sell-through rates on 2X plus and above for women's tops, you can generally find at least a 50% sell-through rate. So I want to go back into kind of the principle of ask and you shall receive, because I believe it has so much more to do with than just asking, right? I believe it does have a lot to do with management, because God will never give you what you cannot manage, right? That just does not work that way. The idea that is planted in your heart has a lot to do with what you're currently managing now. Management is all about taking the raw material of your resources and adding value to them so they can put that value into the economy. So if you're having a hard time managing your business now, how would that be if you have so much more in your business? Is it going to be more unmanageable for you? Because the belief for me is that whatever you mismanage, you will lose. Have you ever seen a multi-million, billion-dollar company be so bad at management and survive the test of time? They usually go bankrupt. So that's why it's key is like ask and you shall receive. You'll receive the idea back. And just keep up with your management. I believe for me, and this shift in my business had a lot to do with management, because there was things that I wasn't showing that were mismanaged. You know, things like my health. I wasn't eating all that good. I was eating burgers and fries and milkshakes. Not like that's a bad thing, right? But for me, I don't want to be putting that into my body. You know, things like getting back into a daily prayer life, a daily word with God, that was important to me. Getting back into learning, reading books, and development. So it had a lot to do with all of that for the key to be unlocked of ask and you shall receive. And if none of this makes sense to you, just really study the principle of management and you'll be surprised on where you end up. I really do believe if you can't manage $100, what makes you think you can manage $1 million? So it's all about managing the little that you have now so much more can be attracted to that. So I needed to manage things in my business, but everything, not just my business, my relationships, my health, My wealth, everything, all of that needs to be managed. You know, if you're not managing, you know, one thing in your life, like your relationships, then you're going to have, you know, you'll lose them, right? If you don't manage your money, you'll lose it. It applies to everything in life. So I just encourage you guys to look at the things that you have now that maybe could use a little bit more management and start managing, and you will see those resources come in. I believe Jesus Christ, greatest manager of all time, managed everything around him to the best that it can be. And that's why you saw such success in his purpose and vision being carried out. So if you can just manage people's emotions, manage your own emotions, manage people around you, you're going to have a great thing coming. So no matter where you're at right now, do not be discouraged. Manage what you got. Ask and you shall receive the idea. Seek and you shall find, and knock and the door will be opened. So continue to make progress, you guys, and do not give up. This Kangol hat, men's medium, sold for $19 plus shipping. This hat had sold recently for $19 as well, but it got returned for does not fit, and relisted it, no worries, and sold again after 1 week. So it's okay if you get returns, especially if it's for doesn't fit. Things don't fit, and it's up to the buyer to return it or not. It's okay, just get those items relisted, maybe relook at the listing for things that you can improve upon, and sell it again. I'll tell you what, that this Calvin Klein underwear right here, this model in particular, I list between $44 and $54, just this single piece, and they sell almost within a week or two for the buy it now price. So no best offers, nothing. They just outright bought it. I don't know why in particular it has so much more value than these. These ones tend to sell between $17 and $20, and I'm selling a 2-pack of these underwears for $24. That's what I have them listed at. They sell for significantly less. So this one here is like the U1010 model. I don't know if it's like discontinued, like they don't make it anymore, or the style, but just so thankful to turn a lot of these, you know, what seemingly just looks like plain men's briefs for $44.95 plus shipping. So if you ever find this out there, you list it high. You know, this wouldn't be the proper what sold video without including some handbags. So this is a Timbuktu men's adjustable messenger bag. That's kind of what the logo looks like. It's a canvas bag, sold for $34 plus $12.95 shipping. This vintage jockey underwear, made in 1999, sold for $15 plus shipping. Just love this brand. Everyone knows about it, but I think everyone should be picking it up. That is the brand Ariat. These Ariat women's loose-fitting jeans, kind of a boyfriend cut, sold for $27.95 plus shipping. Another decent brand, I mean, it's okay. The brand Tahari. This is a women's blazer, sold for $18 plus shipping. Hey, another Kenneth Cole chino pants. They are new with tags. What did these sell for? I think they sold for $14 plus shipping. This is a Gap wool scarf, been listed for about a year and sold for $15 plus shipping. So people are buying wool scarves out there, even though it's 90-some degrees. Another hat sale. This is by the brand Leviti. It is a new with tags hat, so pretty cool. I think the special thing about this is it's made out of hemp, half hemp, 50% hemp, 50% cotton. Sold for $10 plus shipping, which is not that great, but I'm not a hat seller, so I really want to get these hats sold and gone. So another material, you know, that I mentioned earlier, I mentioned silk, cashmere, wool, linen. Add hemp to that, because hemp items, you know, feel like linen, but also they do retain their value as well. This Kenneth Cole men's button-up shirt, that is new with tags. You can see there. Sold for $24.47 plus shipping. This amazing Nautica men's sweater, that is new with tags, sold for $6 plus shipping. You can see the SKU number on there in my face, but 5303 is a year plus, a year and 2 months. So these items were all heavily marked down. This men's Timberland New with Tags t-shirt sold for $13 plus shipping. So eBay can be kind of a struggle, you know, especially if you don't know what you're doing, like structuring your titles, don't know how to source inventory, don't know how to price your inventory even though you have a ton of it. So this is why Marcus Dixon and I have created a reseller mentorship to help fast track your growth on the road to six figures. You can check it out, link down below, where Marcus and I offer 9 hours a week of coaching via Zoom. Included in that is a reseller spreadsheet, as well as an item specifics guide, a BOLO list, and also a community of other like-minded individuals also growing their business. So basically, we're just helping you guys apply some of the tips and principles that helped us achieve over $300,000 in sales last year, and we're close to approaching the pace of hitting $400,000 combined in sales this year. So if you guys want a little bit of help, maybe a little bit of accountability, check it out. It's a 7-day free trial, and if you like it, it's just $1 a day. After that, we'll see you there. All right, another Timbuk2. This is kind of a tote bag, sold for $21 plus shipping. All right, these men's Tommy Hilfiger chino pants that I just listed a week ago sold for $17.95 plus shipping. So these women's London jeans sold for $10 plus shipping. So one of the things that I really like about this inventory system is that you could just easily pull your orders according to the SKU number. So they all go in sequential order. This is a Calvin Klein men's button-up shirt, sold for $16 plus shipping. It is a linen blend, but the key here is you need to have an organized, structured method to having your inventory to really help avoid you losing orders and to really help speed up the process when you are pooling 10, 20 plus orders every day. So I just suggest to you guys, if you're thinking about making that investment, and it might be a little hard because these do cost some money, you know, the racks, the boxes, the bags. You can find a lot of what I buy in the links down below. It does greatly help support the channel, but I do feel like this is a great system to be able to keep building your business on. It is modular, so you just keep building, keep adding more shelves, keep growing your business. Everything from the SKUs, from the poly bags to the boxes that I use, and the racks as well. So you could check it out. I think it's gonna really help you guys keep more organized and keep your orders in order so you can find them quickly. In this men's Claiborne sweater, sold for $13.05 plus shipping. It was new with tags. Claiborne is not the best brand to be picking up, but that's kind of what you get when you buy in bulk. Storage units anyways. So going back to what we mentioned earlier, I'm only going to be sticking with about 50 listings a day. So it's going to average between 1,400 to 1,600 items a month, which is why I'm opening up the service of wholesaling the rest of the inventory that I'm going to be getting. So please allow for 2 to 3 weeks for processing, as I'm going to be getting all of that inventory in this week over the next few weeks. But if you guys are interested, that's why I did put it linked down below, just to kind of gauge interest, to see if it's even worth my time doing. I do believe a lot of these items are going to be prepped and ready to go. Also, do be aware that there might be some holes or stains, but I'm going to do my best to pull those items out so you just have them ready to go, ready to be listed. So I was thinking about $3 per item and doing about a 75 item per box, which is not going to be at that rate. The shipping is not going to be, you know, breaking the bank on shipping. So $3 included shipping, 75-piece boxes delivered to your door via UPS ground. If you guys are interested, comment down below to see if you even think that that's going to be a good deal. I think it's going to save a lot of people having to go out to the bins or go out to the thrift stores, go out to the yard sales, and you have the product delivered to you. So I think it's game changing for my business. I've always wanted to have product delivered to me. So if you're interested, sign up. Leave your address, leave your name, and we'll get those shipped out to you. If you want more of a custom order, you're gonna have to reach out to me and see how that goes. But it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be really helpful for people that are struggling to find inventory or just maybe don't even like sourcing. Those people do exist. You know, and for me, you know, in my time, I was just wanting to be able to get some of that time back that I spent sourcing and be able to focus on other areas of the business. So I'm excited. I'm also going to be releasing videos on kind of the types of items you'd expect to get in these wholesale boxes. So it's going to be women's tops, men's button-ups, could be jackets, it could be dresses, you know, all of these things that I usually sell. But these items are going to have a good sell-through rate as well as a good average sale price. So an easy way for you to get inventory without having to stress out too much. So I think it's gonna be helpful for you guys. Check it out. Not the best brand, not the fastest brand, and not the highest average sale price, but it's Marc Ecko. Marc Ecko men's button-up, sold for $15 plus shipping. All right, so this J. Crew women's tote bag, camouflage pattern. It's kind of like a canvas type material, pretty cool. Sold for $30 plus shipping. All right, so we got a Puma men's polo, sold for $9 plus shipping, and I've been actually running a few experiments lately with the unpaid buyers. So unpaid buyers, we all dislike them, right? We don't like when we have 10, 20 plus unpaid buyers awaiting payment. So there's so many ways to do this, right? There's the 4 days after a buyer has committed to the purchase. You could just go ahead and cancel that order and say buyer hasn't paid. I have been doing a few different things. I've been sending a nice message politely, asking them to pay or just to confirm to remember to pay, then I will ship the item out. I've been doing that, as well as literally sending an invoice every day for some items. So this item was purchased like 2 weeks ago, and I had sent invoices for this item in particular every day for 2 weeks, and finally the buyer paid. So there's been a few instances where I've held items back and I haven't canceled them, but I literally just sent an invoice every morning. That's what I do anyways. So I would just continue to send an invoice every day. And about 2 weeks later, I saw that payment go through and I was like, huh. And it's been happening more and more lately. And you got to remember, a lot of these people, you know, not a lot of them, but some of them, you know, buy something on eBay and then just go, oh, you know, I'll pay later, or I won't even pay for it, or I'll pay when I get the money. First of all, you shouldn't even be shopping if you have no money to begin with, but it is really cool to see if you just kind of remain faithful and think like, okay, I'm going to give this person a chance. I'll just keep sending an invoice. 2 weeks later, made $9. So, hey, I don't know what your strategy is. What do you guys do? Do you just cancel the order after 4 days, or what do you do? Because this is an ongoing issue with eBay, and it's been problematic for some time. eBay, I believe, is the only platform where you can commit to purchasing something and not pay. So I don't know. What do you do? I do know that you can set up in your preferences, your seller preferences, to not allow people to even purchase your items if they have like 4 or 5 or 6 unpaid item strikes. So do you do that as well? Maybe I'll start incorporating that. All right, we have these Calvin Klein women's cargo shorts, sold for $8 plus shipping. If you guys are wanting to know what brands that I'm actively seeking out, you're gonna wanna check out this video right here, where it goes over the top 50 brands that I'm constantly on the lookout for. I do that so the next time you go out sourcing, maybe you can find some of those items as well. I hope you have a blessed rest of the week. Don't give up on your dream. Don't give up on your idea, and keep on grinding. Appreciate y'all. Take care.